January 1848, California. Near the American River in the town of Coloma, carpenter James Marshall was working at John Sutter's mill. While checking the riverbed, he suddenly noticed shiny grains of what looked like yellow metal. The coverage of this unexpected discovery changed the history of the Wild West forever. How it all began. John Sutter did not want to make it public that he feared that the news of the gold would attract crowds of treasure hunters and ruin his plans to establish an agricultural enterprise. But the rumor spread quickly, and by the end of 1848, stories of lucky men who found gold nuggets on the banks of rivers were already spreading from California to New York, and then overseas. In the spring of 1849, thousands of travelers, nicknamed 49ers from the year 1849, set out by land, sea, and even dangerous routes through Panama to reach California. Their main goal was to get rich in a matter of weeks. The Golden City phenomenon. San Francisco, which before the gold rush was a modest port with a few hundred inhabitants, suddenly became one of the most populous and lively cities on the West Coast. Prospectors came from all over the Americas as well as from China, Europe, and Latin America, in the hope of finding the gold mountains. The city, nicknamed the Golden City, experienced a huge surge in construction in the 1850s, with banks, hotels, bars, and shops opening, and land prices rising rapidly. People changed professions, left their families, and risked everything for the chance to find a treasure on their own. The reality of the gold rush: everyday labor. Contrary to romantic stories, the work of a prospector was extremely grueling and often fruitless. People stood in cold water for days, sifting through sand in search of shiny grains. Fortune or disappointment. Some people found huge nuggets and became instantly rich, but most never made it big. Problems and conflicts. The influx of people led to an increase in crime, fraud, and disputes over land rights. Environmental impacts. Wild gold mining led to the destruction of riverbanks, deforestation, and mercury poisoning of water. Impact on the development of California: the gold rush has dramatically accelerated. Infrastructure. Roads were built to California, railroads were built, and new steamship routes were opened. Demographics. The population of the region grew tenfold in just a few years. State status. California was admitted to the United States as the 31st state in 1850, just 2 years after the start of massive mining. Economy. The flow of gold into the American financial system contributed to the economic growth of not only California but the entire country. The fate of Sutter and Marshall. John Sutter, who never came to terms with the crowds of prospectors, suffered a financial collapse. His land was seized by gold miners and he lost a lot of money trying to keep his property. James Marshall, the discoverer of nuggets, did not get rich either. Despite his historical role, he died in poverty. However, a monument to him was erected in Coloma at the site of the first gold discovery. The end of the golden era. By the mid-1850s, the deposits of easily accessible gold had become significantly depleted, and mining began to require more complex and costly technologies. Big business and industrial companies were pushing out small-scale miners. Gradually, the gold rush faded, but its effects were already irreversible. California became one of the richest and most dynamic regions in the United States. An image of the American dream emerged, where everyone could try their luck and succeed. Why this story is important: the California gold rush is a vivid example of the power of mass belief in easy money, and a symbol of hope for a better life. It shows how crazy events can change the geography, economy, and the very face of an entire region in a short period of time. Although not all of the daredevils became rich, the story of the 49ers has become part of American culture forever, shaping myths and legends about ingenuity, determination, and risk. Today there are still ghost towns and historical museums in the cities of the gold mining region where you can feel the spirit of those times. But the gold boom left its biggest mark on modern California, from the booming infrastructure to the grandeur of San Francisco, which has grown from a small port into a global metropolis.